How's it going, guys? TFF back here again. It has been a while. I apologize for that, but we're back with another video, and I'm going over the breaking news of today, being Von Miller. He just got traded earlier today to the LA Rams in return for two second round picks. What to make of it from both sides? Let's start off with the Broncos. The Broncos, after starting off quite well, have been struggling as of recently. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't look too confident in the pocket. Jerry Jeudy did get injured early in the season, I believe, in the first game, but that didn't stop them from going on a nice little run to begin the season. However, they've really fallen off a cliff. Their offense and defense has not looked great. They do have some nice pieces on offense. I'm really a big fan of Cortland Sutton. I do think Noah Fant has potential, and he's been producing pretty well. Melvin Gordon was an elite back for his time, getting a little bit older, but he can still produce. So they have some pieces in there, but they really can't just get their overall game put together. And because of that, they're just a struggling team right now in a division that's quite tough, honestly. So looking at what they got in return, two second round picks for basically the wrestler Von Miller. I like Nick Chubb a little bit. Bradley Chubb a little bit more. I think he's a little bit more explosive. Of course, he's younger, and of course, Von Miller's prime is behind him. Von Miller was still productive, however, I do think Bradley Chubb is their best player, followed by Von Miller. Getting two second round picks is quite helpful for them. They're not really in win now mode, so they don't really need a little bit of an aging pass rusher, although he still was quite productive. It wasn't really aligning with their goals. I see them as a rebuilding franchise around young pieces, and Von Miller didn't really fit in that his age is just a little bit older than what they wanted. However, I do think Von Miller still is an excellent player, and two second round picks for a team like the Broncos is quite important. I think that can get them two young, good pieces, possibly starters in positions of need. And I do think if they want to flip those 2 seconds, I'm sure someone will be willing to accept them. I do think that it was a fair trade. I did like what the Broncos did getting two second round pieces. Like I said, it could be two starters, it could be a starter and a potential player. Either way, I think that it aligns better with their future goals having two conditional seconds compared to Von Miller, who could help them on a day-to-day basis this season, maybe next season, but going forward with a team that still needs a lot of work, I do think that it was a smart move to get rid of Von Miller and ship him off. From the LA Rams perspective, this was a huge move. It truly was. They're in a tough division, which is pretty much always the case when you had powerhouses like Seattle there before, and now the powerhouse is Arizona. It was the Rams for a few years, last year and the year before, but Arizona's really come up, and Seattle's on a little bit of a downturn, of course, with Russell Wilson being out. I see this move as LA trying to get back to where they were at the top of the division. Although Arizona was unbeaten before this week, they did lose to the Packers, which was a little bit surprising, I suppose. But Aaron Rodgers played a great game. I do see that they're trying to, the LA Rams, get back to where they need to be at the top of the division, and that means trying to go toe for toe with the Arizona Cardinals. And what I think that the Arizona Cardinals had was an elite defense, especially their defensive line. Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, they were causing a havoc on a daily basis every game. And the Rams, they only really had Aaron Donald to do that, and he usually gets double teamed every play because he is so good. Now having Von Miller on that D line is just going to make it explosive. You can double Aaron Donald, but that's probably leaving Von Miller one-on-one, and you really don't want to do that because he's still such an excellent pass rusher. He's still extremely skillful, and he can still get to the quarterback at will, basically. I do see this as a big move. They have some star pieces now on the defense: Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Von Miller. Like, that's a core of three players that are game changing. All three of them can really change a game individually, and them on the same defense that can really lead to forcing a lot more turnovers, pressuring the quarterback, Aaron throw, stuff like that. And I see the Rams going forward as maybe the best team in the division. I might favor them over the Cardinals now, especially with J.J. Watt getting injured. I am a big fan of Matthew Stafford. he is kind of looking MVP quality, and of course their offense is really well run. Sean McVay does a great job. Daryl Henderson's been looking great. Woods is getting back on track. Cooper Kupp is looking great, especially with Matthew Stafford looking amazing as well. I think that this is a great move for both teams. I think the Broncos get better moving forward, although they do take a hit this year and maybe next year. And the Rams look fantastic going forward. They have star pieces on that defensive line now, two of them, so you can't really just focus on a singular player, or else the other one will get you. And I do think that this is going to create an interesting division there between Arizona, LA, and if Seattle can turn it around with Russell Wilson coming back, Seattle also being in that mix. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. TFF out.